So let's start the exercise that we did yesterday in class. So we were taking the address 192.168.2.24, and we said we wanted to make a subnet for our class. We are 12 students plus one teacher. That means we need 13 addresses for each one of us to be able to have an address specific for us. One of the rules when we do a subnet is that it must have 2 to the power of n number of addresses. So in our case, we must choose 16, which is 2 to the 4. This number, the 4, represents the number of bits that we need to reserve for the host. And everything else becomes a subnetwork bit. So, we do remember okay, sorry about that. I had to pause. So we remember this is a class C address. It's also in the realm of private addresses. We know that the subnet mask is equal to 255.255.255.0. This is the usual subnet mask. And now we want to work on our custom subnet mask. So for our custom subnet mask, we're going to break this 0 here into the binary format, right? We have 8 bits for each octet. And what we said is that we need to reserve 4 bits for the hosts. And we must take the least significant bits. We reserve them for zeros. We take the most significant bits that are remaining, and we turn them into ones. So this now becomes our new custom subnet mask. Actually, this wasn't the subnet mask, this was just the network mask, right? And this is our custom subnet mask. And if we want to turn this back into decimal, then we get 255.255.255. And if we convert this whole number, we get .240. Now that we found our custom subnet mask, we can go back to the original address that we had and figure out the network ID of this address. How do we do that? Well, remember, we have to do bitwise and of the subnet mask, custom subnet mask, and the address. So in order to do that here, what we want to do is we want to put the 192.168.2.24. And we want to do the bitwise. That's what's important here, the bitwise and. So I'm going to do it right beside. I'm going to take the 240. It's right here, but it's a little bit off of what I want. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to put a pause on that. So as I said, I'm going to rewrite this here. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And notice how I'm writing it. It makes it a little bit easier to find yourself. Always 4 bits, a little bit of space, 4 bits. And 24 is over here, right? We do the and bitwise. That means 0 and 0 is 0, 0, sorry, 1 and 0, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 0, 1. All zeros, so we find all zeros. This will replace this octet to give us our network ID. So our network ID is 192.168.2.16. Okay, so that's our network ID. That means that if I chose, this is one of the addresses in the network that I'm going to be creating, the subnetwork that I'm going to be creating, but the network ID is this. And how do we find the broadcast ID? The broadcast ID is when in the address that you have, you go all the way to the maximum of number of hosts that you can have. So what does that represent? It represents that this number here, this portion here of the hosts is going to max, right? So it's 0, 0, 0, 1, and then 1, 1, 1, 1. And this will give us, for the broadcast ID, will give us 192.168.2. And that will be 31. So that's it.